What's going on, everybody? This is Phil, and I wanted to make a tutorial video and showing you guys how to add an angled abutment inside of the Carestream 3D imaging software. So, first and foremost, we're going to merge a digital impression scan from the 3600 or 3700, either way. All right, so this scan actually has a little 3D printed wax up. It's 3D printed provisional, actually, that the patient was wearing. So we took the scan off the 3600 and we're going to do an automatic alignment with the 8100 3D. A helpful option is to add a 3D region of interest, which I've already done here, and I've actually made a tutorial on how to do this in prior videos. So I'm not going to do it here, but if we just toggle that on and off, we can see that we've removed the mandible. We've also removed a lot of the CBCT data, just so we get really a nice clean image from the 3600 or 3700 scanner. If the patient was not wearing a provisional or a flipper or something, then you can add a virtual crown. So let's hide this model. And for example, if it was a dentulous here and we go to our crown, then we can actually add our virtual crown and we can do our plan off of that virtual crown. In this particular case though, we have the scan provisional, so I'm just going to do it that way. Okay, and let's hide the actual crown again. Okay, so we can do our plan and we can visualize our implant and angled abutment off of this. Okay, what next? Let's go ahead and add our implant. Let's zoom in on our cross-sectional view and our panoramic. And let's go ahead and take a length measurement for our implant. And we can choose whichever implant we want. Let's do Zimmer, tapered screw vent, and we'll choose this one. And let's move this over a little bit. So we can see here on our provisional that the implant is not in the best position from a restorative perspective. We can move this over a little bit too, I think. So that's where we can add the angled abutment. Okay, the yellow represents our restorative space, and the default selection in the software, which I've shown under other videos, is 10 millimeters. But you can make it larger to 20 millimeters or 15 or 17 or whatever. That will help extend it outside of the crown so you can see the angle of your placement. So now all we have to do is go to our implant over here, and this particular implant is selected, and we can select abutment, and we can see here no abutment, straight abutment, or angled. And on the height, you're just going to choose the minimum height of 0.1. Tab down to the angle, so we can try 15 degrees. The height of the angle, we can also choose 20 millimeters to extend that height beyond the crown. And then the output diameter can be the same as our actual implant diameter. So we can just say 3.71 for an equivalent diameter and then select OK. So now we can see that's added our angled abutment, and we can see that down here. And on our axial view, you can actually see our implant, and this little movement handle is the angle of our abutment. So if I did not see this little movement handle, for example, if I took my axial slice and I moved it all the way apically, well, that little movement handle might disappear. I don't see the implant. So how does that come into view? If you go ahead and just select center at implant or center on implant, that's going to center all my views on that implant. And then now I can see my little handle, which I can grab. And if you watch your 3D rendering, actually I'm just moving this aside. If we look at our 3D rendering, you can see, so we're rotating that movement handle around and rotating the angled abutment to put that into a much better position restoratively.